Hello everyone, it is Dragon Fu, and hey guys, it's been a while. First of all, I'd like to apologize for the absentees. I made a video earlier this week, and it was not up to par on what I wanted to do, so I apologize, and I had to redo it, and that's this video right here. So, first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about something, and I'm going to be doing more of a schedule-based, on what to do with series and of the such. So the first series I have in mind, first of all, let me lay down a ground rule what I'm going to do. If you don't want to listen to this whole ramble, I'm going to put a little annotation in the video, and you can just skip ahead and go right to the video. But if you want to hear me discussing what the channel is basically going to be about and what we're going to do here, you can stay tuned. So, first things first, what's going to go on? Well, first of all, I'm going to start doing World of Warcraft book reviews. And if that takes off, I will be doing other book reviews like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter maybe, or basically just doing a summary of the book. Not so much a review, but more of a summary. I apologize, not a review, but a summary. And then I will be doing an in-depth look. Like for instance, I have Beyond the Dark Portal right in front of me. That's what this video is going to be on. A summary of Beyond the Dark Portal World of Warcraft, because I really like that book and I want to give you guys a summary. And then I'll do an in-depth look in how it relates to the game and how it does as a standalone novel. Now, in this video, all I'll be doing is basically doing a summary of Beyond the Dark Portal. And then in a future video, what I'll end up doing is I'll end up being like, well, I like this part of the story, I like that part of the story, and so on and so forth. And then, thirdly, I'll be doing more of my World of Warcraft reviews, kind of like, was Mists of Pandaria a fail or a success? I thought that went fairly well. Again, I'm sorry about the video quality for these first few videos. I am trying my hardest to improve and trying out new things, and any feedback, recommendation would be fantastic. Also, I would like to thank my guildmate Mork on my server, who got me a ton of views on my last video. I'm growing substantially in the number of views I'm getting per video, and I would just like to thank him for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. So let's dive right into what this video is going to be about. Alright, so World of Warcraft Beyond the Dark Portal. So, how is this book as a standalone novel? This book as a standalone novel, like any World of Warcraft novel series, is absolutely good. You don't need any really prior knowledge because Christie and Aaron Goldberg do a fantastic job about explaining what each character is and what's going on. So, basically, you are going on the expedition into Outlands with the Alliance Mage, Khadgar. You're going with Trellian, the Human Paladin. You're going with Illyria, Windrunner, the Ranger. Kurgrin, Wildhammer, the leader of the Wildhammer faction. And then you're going with Dan the Trollbane. And Dan the Trollbane turns into a badass. That's all I'm saying. So, on the Horde side, who do you have? You have Ner'zhul. You have Kilrog Deadeye, I believe it is. And then you have the first Death Knight, Terran Gorfine. And then Deathwing seeks his way in there, and it's a pretty good plotline. So, overall, the summary of what the book would be is we're just going to go at the beginning and explain what the beginning is, and then we're going to look over the middle, and I'm going to explain what the middle does, and then we'll look at the ending, and I'm going to keep this as spoiler-free as I can. Alright, so at the beginning, what do we have? We have soldiers fighting on the very first page. I remember that very, very prominently. And what's going to end up happening is Dan the Trollbane is going to end up riding with his brothers, and all of a sudden, he's going to get ambushed by Horde warriors. And it gives this valiant, badass scene of, they're like, no, go, warn Stormwind, quickly. So what does Dan end up doing? He ends up going, and he feels he's a coward. He has this compelling cowardice about him throughout the entire book, and it kind of drives him really as a character, and it's absolutely beautiful how it unfolds. And as he goes into Stormwind, he begins to get together Trellian and Illyria, and you have some old stories that Illyria and Trellian obviously have been through some stuff together, and you start to get little pieces of the puzzle and put them together, and you realize these two are more than they're cracked up to be. And I'll leave that for you to find out and understand. So towards the middle of the book, what you have is, oh man, this book for the first 200 pages is fairly slow, but it is definitely worth the payoff. I found myself at times feeling it drug on, so that's a minus. It drug on, but I believe it was absolutely worth it. It was so satisfactory towards the end of the story. So, as we get to the middle, what are the orcs doing? The orcs are coming to Azeroth. Terran, Gorfine, and Ner'zhul are meeting up with Deathwing. And this is before Deathwing was made in the game World of Warcraft, which is perfectly fine because it is not relevant at all to the novel, to the game, as of this moment, because this came out before Cataclysm. So let's throw that out the window right now. This is before Cataclysm, so don't be judging Deathwing's appearance off the book. So what ends up happening, he basically gives him trades. He's like, you can use my brood if you allow me to put crates through Draenor. And Terran Gorfine basically says, okay, well, we don't really care, so yeah, Ner'zhul sent us through to get some of your stuff. So let's do this. So basically, then they go to the Tomb of Sargeras, they go to Dalaran and steal the Eye of Dalaran, and then they get the Scepter of Medivh. And I will not say what they're going to use those for, but that is what happens. That's not too much of a spoiler. So towards the end of the book, what is the awesome moments? Khadgar fights a dragon. Ner'zhul ends up talking to Gul'dan, his past apprentice, through his skull. That's also an artifact they got that I forgot to mention. And then the end of the book is extremely satisfactory, and it answers a ton of questions for the game. And if you are not in the game, whenever you read this book, it will explain and is completely fleshed out of what happens. So that's an overall summary of what happens in the book. Basically what ends up happening, if I could put it in a few sentences, is it's about the Alliance forces protecting Azeroth as a whole and taking out the portal to Draenor. Draenor becomes the blasted, like, desolate planet known as Outlands and no longer Draenor. Ner'zhul dries it up, he creates rifts all around the planet, and it's a very mythical adventure. It's not your classic kobolds go to the dungeon and kill kobolds and come back and give 120 candles to someone. No. It's a very, you go to a distant land through portals, sci-fi-ish feel, which I really like. So I would recommend this book if you're into sci-fi, medieval kind of stuff, but if you're looking for something like Twilight, well, then this book isn't for you. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be doing an in-depth look at this book, and I'll be doing other Let's Plays and all sorts of that kind of stuff in the near future. Again, thank you so much for watching. Leave comments, recommendations down below. Till next time, guys. See ya.